I don't know. How have you been? How's life going? You're getting those LSF clips. You're starting to do that. You're catching some heat.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, this is probably something you're familiar with. It's the lefties kind of starting to move away from you or criticize you, and you know, you come in contention with them and they don't want to associate with you anymore. I've been having a bit of that recently. I've been kind of earmarked as like a DGG, Destiny Dick Rider.
Have you kind of like broken off from that, from like the lefties? Or are you still like...
Yeah, my politics fundamentally, I don't think have changed. Like I still, you know, I'm a big
Sorry, when I
believer
say
in,
broken off from the lefties, I don't mean
oh,
I don't mean like your politics have changed. I mean like, are you done like debating with like fucking trans people or all that shit like every single fucking day? I don't even know if you were even as like caught up in that as I was. Maybe you weren't.
okay, look, I'll give you a take on that in a sec, but I need to point. I was going to say this yesterday on Twitch, but I was worried. I'm going to say it now.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Okay.
Is it just me? Okay. Is it just
no.
me?
Oh god.
Or when a white cis heterosexual man is accused of allegations of like misconduct, this instantaneously believed by lefties. If a trans woman is accused of the same thing, there's immediate scrutiny of the statement. Is this true? This sounds like the groomer narrative. Da 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 da. It feels like there's this fucking scrutiny on white cis dudes from lefties. It doesn't exist when it's like a trans woman that's on the fucking docket for these sort of allegations. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that even a spicy take? It feels like a spicy take.
Nah, I don't think it's a spicy take.
Okay. I don't really care about gender. Trans people do what you want. I just don't care enough about the gender thing to really debate it significantly. There was the trans genocide discourse recently, which was fucking pathetic. There was a panel about it yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I just
okay.
don't.
Another one, yeah.
It just seems so far removed from the reality. And you know, you don't always want to appeal to normies because normies can be retarded on stuff. But like, why are we at this level? Why are we making these insane claims? It makes us look fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like the Balenciaga stuff. You don't have to go full rightoid soy about it and act like they're all demon pedos, but just say, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Like, is that too hard to ask for, just to look a bit normal when you're talking about these topics? So I just don't want to be associated with that sort of shit anymore. It's just pathetic and cringe, and you know.
What
I don't know.
what is like what are your concurrent viewers on Twitch these days?
Current views on Twitch. Well, when you're live or when you're not live, that's the question. No, listen, it's all good. I understand the dynamic. Basically, normally it's between 300 to 400 across the average of a month.
Okay.
Peak 500-600. Lowest point, if I'm playing like a video game, like 50 or 60. But normally between 300-400, maybe 500.
Do you have like plans for the new year, like New Year's resolution for Chud content? Have you talked about that at all?
I just need to be a bit more. I could be. I am a bit lazy, I guess. I don't know. I just need to put myself out there a bit more and get on some of these. Just get on different shows and get on different. I could probably reach out to people and be a bit more, you know, forthcoming and trying to get on stuff. You know, I'm just a bit lazy sometimes. I don't like being a clout shark. I don't like begging people to, you know, come on their stream or come on their content. It just feels a bit cringe.
Sure. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
August says you're gonna
just
improve on your stream if you start playing Factorio. That's what August says. So.
Okay, August. I'm never going to beat the Destiny Orbiter allegations if I play the same autistic games as him.
True.
Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, I mean, obviously I have pivoted more towards more drama content with politics as an aside, really. It's tricky because sometimes, like, you know, you feel like there's not much going on. So you could probably sit there with a few thousand viewers playing video games regardless of what's happening, right? Whereas...
I'm so sorry. Keep going. Sometimes there's not a lot going on, so you can sit there with a few thousand viewers playing video games, and you were going to say it's harder for if you're not as much of a developer.
It's hard, yeah. You know, I feel like I'm always on the grind set to think about what content to cover to maximize viewership. Obviously, you know, I do this full time, but it's constantly moving forward. Whereas for you, I think you can probably kind of relax a bit, and you're still going to reap the reward of the audience you've built already, right?
I was going to say one funny fucking thing. I didn't know Denims was doing this too. Do you know what the Denims and Mike from PA or the Denims and the Central Committee strategy are?
No, what's that? Oh, Hassan in the title.
Yeah, you just put Hassan's name in the title. Even if it has nothing to do with him, you always put Hassan's name in the title. These people will always stream before Hassan, and they put Hassan in the title, and then that's how they get their, they're always like the Hassan waiting room. It's funny, it's kind of sad, but kind of funny at the same time that he's managed to build. He has like orbiters, but he
Yes.
never brings them on stream. He doesn't associate with them at all. They're actual orbiters. Like they orbit and they never visit the planet ever. That was kind of sad and funny to me.
You know, you got to take a bit of stick. I'll take getting called, you know, a Destiny orbiter, whatever. But it pisses me off that people don't. Like, it's the Asan orbiter industrial complex.
Yeah.
All these people orbiting Asan. Asan never fucking talks to them or recognizes their existence.
Ever.
It's
And
fucking
will
pathetic.
never recognize, because they're not big enough for him. Yeah, that he's too clouded
Yeah.
up to care. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. And you know, the thing is, the kind of vibe on Twitch with politics is like, you have to. Hassan's politics are the way, basically.
Yeah.
There was a panel at TwitchCon of politics. It was all fucking Hassan orbiters, and like IRI wasn't even invited.
Wait.
Like,
There was a panel or there was a meeting?
Oh, there was two. There was one meeting, I think happened, but there was also a panel that like Frogan was on, Denims was on, Lucid Fox was on.
Yeah.
Carson was on.
Did you go to that meeting at all?
No.
Oh,
I didn't even know it was happening. I didn't get invited. I didn't get
Melina
invited
got
to things.
invited. The meeting was supposed to be for just streamers that did IRL content, and like Melina got invited, ST Peach got invited, Jake and Big got invited, people that like do IRL streaming, and then yeah, it was all of the Hassan Dick Rider crowds of like politics people, like Denims and friends were there, and it was really awkward. Melina said, because like the entire meeting they spent just like talking to and appeasing like this group of people. It was like, oh my god. And Melina was like, yeah, it was like really awkward listening to them talk about like, oh, what can we do to improve politics on Twitch, while I'm like permabanned and these fucking losers are like, you know, sitting here like talking about like, oh, this is what we need to do to make politics better on our platform and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, dude, Jesus. But
I bet all their ideas fucking suck. I mean, it's
it's just whatever they
I
can do to pull like the progressive narrative 1,000,000,000%. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this. Yeah, I mean, I'm just whining at this point, but you know, it's like there's this real lack of like, you know, a preponderance of different perspectives, and the righties are fucking dead. They're gone.
Yeah.
They got fucking taken off. You know, you couldn't have a righty on a panel without the soys kicking off about it. So now, what are you left with? Arguing about fucking gender shit endlessly. Like,
Always,
it's so boring.
yeah. It's that was one of the happiest moments when I started to pull away from debating all of the fucking lefties, was like not having to argue about communism versus socialism constantly, or like, do we need a $35 minimum wage, or like, is the trans genocide happening, or is it transphobic to not want to blah blah blah. Like, oh my god, like getting away from that shit. This is why I need to make more, like, people criticize like fucking Lauren Southern and Nick Fuentes, like, or whatever, but my conversations with them were so much more meaningful than the 50 millionth conversation with somebody talking about like how healthcare and billionaires are fucking evil and shit. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I appreciate my combos with conservatives more because we have better, more meaningful issues we can disagree on than like the fucking lefty circle jerk with a bunch of fucking losers who just want to cry about like the same like two things constantly. Ugh.
Well, yeah, and okay, this is it schizo? I don't know. Do you know about the map panel?
I've heard about the map panel. Yeah. The
Okay.
legendary,
So-
the infamous map panel. Yes.
Okay, did you did you cover it at all?
Nope. I was too
Okay,
lazy to
fair
dig into
enough.
it, but I saw the that there was like a 16-year-old apparently that was dating one of the dudes on the map panel.
Yep. So there was a 16-year-old, and they call themselves an adult attracted minor,
Oh my
and they
god.
were
base
dating one
name.
of the maps. They were dating one of the maps
That was
AK
on the panel,
pedos
yeah.
on the panel.
Yeah.
And the pedo brought them on. The pedo got them invited on. So they brought the 16-year-old on to defend their relationship with the pedo.
So
It's
base.
fucking.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Just sounds amazing. That sounds like some good ass content. Holy shit.
To be fair, it was. I had a great time covering it because I wasn't involved. I got invited on it, and good. Thank fuck I said no. Jesus Christ. What
Yeah.
a bullet dodge. Yeah. But the point I was going to make is like, this is what the right wing talk about the. They weren't talking about society accepting degeneracy. They were talking about lefty content becoming more degenerate, maybe, because it feels like since the righties have gone, we've developed now into like map panels. I'm going on a panel next week about fucking dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the issue. This is why I always say that like it's good to have different political opinions expressed, because what it does is it moderates both opinions, because you're forced to kind of like meet in some like ground where you can argue, right? So when you've got like conservatives and liberals on the same panel, they're going to be arguing about like, well, what should our stance on immigration be, or what should our stance on like socialized healthcare be? But when it's all lefties, the argument is like, should we bring in 12 million Hispanic people or 50 million Hispanic people? Or when it's all righties, it's like, does Hunter Biden rape kids, or does he rape kids and drink their blood at the same time? You know, and it is like it gets like so fucking crazy when you don't have the other side there to hold people to some reasonable standard of accountability when it comes to like conversations, you know?
Yeah, it feels. Yeah, exactly. It feels like I'm becoming more conservative because I look at like I don't know. Maybe we might have some disagreement here. Maybe it depends how degenerate you want to be. Some of these drag shows that you see the conservatives talking about, some of them are fucking crazy. And whilst there's an excess and righties present it in a very unflattering way, there are times when I see a fucking kid there and I'm like, nah, this ain't it. This is mental. Like.
Yeah. Or like they can't get pride shit. Like, I'm sorry, bro, I've got an 11-year-old kid. He's never gonna go to one of these fucking like no offense, like even like a drag show rating time. Like, there's just not some shit that he needs to like understand at this point. And he's 11. He's like decently old, but like that's just not doesn't need to happen. And like yeah, and like it'd be cool to take my kid to like a like if my son was gay, if Nathan or maybe he is gay, I don't know, but if he turns out to be gay, like it'd be fun, I guess, taking to like kink or not kink. Jesus, fuck. It'd be funny taking like a gay pride or like some LGBT fucking thing or whatever. But if there's people there in like fucking BDSM gear or some shit, bro, my kid is going back in the closet until that shit is gone. Like there's no fucking shot that I'm putting him around that shit. It's just fucking weird and not like no. And the fact that people want to like die on those hills, it's like, bro, come on, like we don't have to do this. Like, how far away are we from the yearly Kink at Pride discussion? Jesus.
Oh, it's coming up, mate. Yeah, it's in a couple of months. Look forward to that.
All right. Bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.